All right. We are live. Welcome, everyone out there in the internet verse.
Our little contraption here is in the way of the video camera.
Uh-oh.
There
Technical
we go.
difficulties as per usual.
Get out of the way, white
When
dealie.
you have such an advanced setup such as
Oh
this.
no, I've screwed up the camera. We had this set up for like 10 minutes and then I screwed with it. All right, we're here, Pete.
Looks like we're on. There you
We're
go.
on. Looks like we're on. Look at that. Hi, Girue. Ooh, and Marcos from Mexico. All right.
All right. Shout out to Mexico.
Yes. What's up, B-Boy? B-Boy 220? Capcom's back. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, when did you see that video, the Capcom is back video with Urata-san at CUSA?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect that to become as big of a thing as it did.
Well, it's cool that it did, though. I mean, it was nice. It's interesting. It's not every day you get to hear president of a company.
Yeah, and everybody was super excited. That was release day, or not release day. It was review day.
Review day, yeah.
Review day for DMC5, and we got a lot of really positive feedback that day. So I was really excited. I happened to be at CUSA that day, and I started looking at as soon as the reviews started going up. I started kind of reading some reviews and pulling quotes and stuff and sending them to different people on the team. And we were like, look, people appreciate your work, and everybody got a real big kick out of it, so it was really cool.
Cool. And I think we should, we almost forgot to introduce the show.
How about we do that? All right,
let's go ahead.
Fair enough. What is this show, Pete?
Welcome to another edition of Capcom Confidential. It is the beginning of a new fiscal year, April 1st.
That's right.
April Fool's Day.
That's right.
In Japan, anyway.
That's right.
And so we start fresh. We start anew.
That's right.
We actually have embarked on a new era.
That's right.
In Japanese history.
We have found out that in a month, right?
Yes.
We will have the Reiwa era in Japan, going from the Heisei era, and one of the tag phrases that we used for Devil May Cry 5 in Japan was Heisei Saigo no.
That's right.
Saiko no action game.
That's right. It's the last
awesome
great action game this era of the Heisei era.
The Heisei
right?
era, you got it exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so now this era is slightly translated to what, orderly peace?
Orderly peace, something like that. The day is very close to cold. And so
cool Japan.
I actually got it confused earlier, and so we were like, it's cool Japan. That's what that means. It's cool Japan.
Thankfully, it's not.
I kind of wish it was.
No.
I kind of wish Reiwa was cool Japan. That'd be pretty cool.
I prefer. Although we're not exactly sure. I haven't heard what the Prime Minister has claimed is the meaning behind or the
I saw something. Apparently, there's some. It relates back to this. There's some poem.
That's what I saw. Yeah,
right.
it's some ancient poem.
Right.
That might be the cause or
right.
the reasoning behind it.
Right.
It's interesting. And apparently the current emperor does have to sign off on the name, right? Or is it the new emperor that has to sign off on it?
Good question. I wonder which one it was. Yeah, assumedly the new emperor, but that's a really good question.
Right?
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I would assume it's the new one.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments.
There you go. Which emperor it is. Yeah. There you go. I'm actually wondering if everybody can hear us okay. We have the mic fairly muted, far away. Right. Matt, how's your sleep schedule now the game's released? Thank you. Yo, hi from Saudi Arabia. All right, Gavin, what's up? Nice. Yeah, I'm sleeping pretty well now, thanks. I feel bad because I was busy during GDC and stuff, and after the game came out, so I haven't been on Twitter at all.
Right.
And then
a little bit here and there,
but mainly,
but
just real quick, just like throw something out there real quick. But like, yeah, and then I got back, and it's like now I'm spending time with my family, so I've been on Twitter because of that.
Right.
So hopefully tonight, I'm hoping tonight I'll get the good ending on Hollow Knight, and then get on Twitter and start going through my backlog of replies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Man, somebody bought Devil May Cry 5 4 times. Thank you, Dante. Wow. Euro. Thank you very much. Ooh, hey, from Malaysia. Awesome.
Nice. I love this. We get so many people from around the world, and some people, it's midnight right now, or sometime very early in the morning, or wherever you are in the world, right? So it's pretty crazy that people are staying up to spend time with us live. So thank you very much.
Or like the Boner Lord from Australia, who's only an hour behind us. Yeah, Boner Lord, thank you.
That is an interesting name.
And 6 a.m. in London, good God.
He clearly means joke, right? Joke, the old meaning of boner.
Of course.
Yeah.
Joke or yeah, exactly. Boner, yes. From like there was that Batman.
The
comic.
Batman comic where it was
Superman comic,
Robin's
yeah.
boner, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Who's got yeah? All
Or
right.
Joker's boner. Sorry, that's what it was.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we're talking about it's 7 a.m. in France, right on. Subarashi from the UAE. Nice. Hey, it's Mary J. It's our friend Mary J.
Hey, Mary J.
All right. And who loved the April Fool's video. Yeah,
Thank you. We're going to talk about that. Yeah,
man.
You want to just jump in?
Sure, yeah, let's talk about the April Fool's video. That was really cool, right? So I was gone, so I had nothing to do with it, actually.
Sure you did. You're in it. You're featured.
Oh, yeah. I was really impressed because, I was gone on business trips. We were at GDC and stuff, and yeah, like all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, we're doing this this video, this April Fool's video, and I get back and I finally got a chance to see it, and you would film it. So how did that go? What was the process with
one
that?
of the designers, he came up with an idea and he wanted to do something for April Fools, and we all wanted to do something, but basically he did some testing, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, but there's a little bit of a thing where we have announced, and this is in April Fools, so take it that way, but a new playable character, and so it kind of goes into the dream sequence of that character experiencing him being a new character in the game, and you star until I star.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And you'll need to see what we're talking about in order to.
That must be really high tech, man. To be able to have me star in it, even though I was
super high tech
in Japan.
Yeah, we used a lot of our technology internally to really bring out a lot of the facial capture.
Nice.
Yeah, when you are talking,
Nice.
you're not really here.
Nice, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
and anyone
amazing.
who sees the video will know that I am full of shit.
You're not full of shit. You're not full of shit. But it was.
Well, no, there's no facial capture, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that kind of full of shit. Well,
yeah.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me, man. I mean, with the hey buddy and everything, I thought that was me.
You thought it was you.
I thought that was me, man.
Well, get out there, and if you haven't seen it yet, tell your friends. It was a lot of fun to put together, and it was the brainchild of Yoshida-san, who was the designer.
Yep.
And yeah, we tweaked it a bit, and I was able to give out a wonderful performance, I think.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of my
I
performance.
think you did a great job. I love it. I mean, I love it. It's like just like it's interesting. It's this great mix of like kind of like cheap and cheesy.
Yeah.
But then also like the fact that like you can actually see like this character, even though like we haven't made any playable characters in the game outside of the 3 that you can play, right? Like. They have that in all the different cutscenes and stuff, and then the voice. So the voice is Kuda-san.
Yeah, who's in the, what would you call it, the editing team, the film editing team?
The film, yeah. We call them the Azohan, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, the film.
They do
team,
a lot of
right?
trailers
The
for us,
video team,
but a lot of
video team.
the video team. They're awesome.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
and,
Yeah, of course they put it together.
Yep, and he's found his new calling as voice actor.
As a voice actor, yeah. Kuda-san did a great job. That's great. And then you guys also did you? How involved were you with the RA2 one?
I was involved with that as well,
Okay.
which is also pretty interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that one. If you guys haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. It's kind of cool. It's this little thing where we're saying that, hey, you guys out there have killed so many of the zombies in the game. We're actually recruiting for new zombies, and so it's just this website that we've put together. And if you click on it, you'll get one of many different roles that we have open for zombie. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
There's some ultra rare ones as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
the more you click it, you can only
apply once.
Oh.
So you apply once, and then you get your role. Like, what did I get? I was one of the partner zombies, so I need to have a partner in order to do as a kind of a couple zombie thing.
Oh, that's nice. That's
neat.
nice.
But yeah, give it a try. It's kind of fun. It's just kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing.
That's cool. I thought it was really cool, and that voice is Shimono-san, also from the video team, right?
Yeah, well, so we only have the video available in Japanese,
Okay.
and it works in Japanese, right? So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it works pretty well in Japanese. In English, some of that stuff is a little harder.
It just doesn't really translate. It is lost in
Yeah, a
translation.
little
But I
bit.
mean, we have it available if you want to see it in Japanese. But yeah, it's cool. He does a really good voice.
Yeah, I love his voice.
Typical
Yeah,
Japanese style narration, which is really good. So yeah, and he's part of the same video team. So those guys are great.
Yeah, that was really cool, man. That was really cool to see. See that stuff happening. As soon as I finally got back from my trips, got back from like taking a couple days off. And I was like, oh, we have these videos that are going out. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, putting them together was fun, and we wanted to give something back to the fans, and it's great. It's great seeing the reactions. I mean, I'm very, very excited and really happy to see the response, like especially for both of them. But the DMC one is just like one of the fastest.
Oh man.
In terms of I can't think of the word.
In terms of
Impressions.
Twitter,
Yeah.
I was impressed too. Like that one blew up really quick, right?
Yeah.
Seeing it this morning after they put it up,
retweets.
you know.
So yeah. Hopefully, having a lot of fun, and it's not April Fool's in some parts of the world yet, right? So, hopefully, it gains even more traction. So
you know,
cool.
You know, yeah, I think it will. And already we have people that are talking about all the different stuff they've gotten for the RE2, and you know, we got a zombie clerk.
Nice.
You know.
I wonder if anyone got one of the ultra
zombie clerk. Look at that. Shout out to my fellow dangling zombies from Victor. Oh man, Funky Boy, the interrogation room zombie. Right.
There's a good question for you, and for both of us actually. But DMC5 sold 2 million. How did you react?
Oh man, I mean, you know.
How do you react? You're pretty happy. The team is ecstatic, right?
Yeah, everybody's super happy. You know, obviously sales are important and everything. But I mean, I try to look at it more. Less in terms of sales, and more in terms of like how many people are enjoying the game. You know, because I don't want people to feel like, well, you know, a company is saying to them like, look, it's on you to buy this, you know, or else we can't do our jobs. Like I don't feel like that's like the right message to put across. You know,
absolutely not. But I'm a realist, and if it doesn't equate to sales, you know.
Then it is harder for us a lot of times to convince people up top, like, look, this is a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately on the creative side, they're out to make the best game they can, and fan reactions and user reactions, and especially even other dev reactions are what they're always looking for. They really want to hear feedback.
I love it.
Right? I want to hear feedback from fans and devs alike, because that's where you get a lot of energy.
Oh yes,
from,
exactly,
right?
exactly. Like
it's not just the number.
Everybody, right? You know, not just media or whatever. Like, you know, it's really cool when we get like a nice Metacritic score. That's great. But like, not just media, fans. You know, obviously other devs and stuff. That's always really cool. I loved seeing. There was this great tweet exchange where one of the combat designers on God of War had tweeted about Devil May Cry.
One of the what designers?
One of the combat designers.
Oh, combat designers.
I think on God of War had tweeted about Devil May Cry 5 and talking about how, you know, how complex it is to do what we did with that game.
Right, that's awesome.
And it was great to see Yoshida-san again.
Yeah, of course he's going to be on the moon.
Right? You know, he tweeted. He's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing to see this.
Sure.
Thank you so much." You know.
And I love that. I love seeing devs. I mean, that's one of the things we used to do, right? Bring them together.
Yep.
Like all these different dev houses, we want them to come together and talk to each other. And it was great to have had those experiences and seeing their approach, our approach, not only on the tech side, but the approach to design, the approach to how you're going to look at art. There's so much to be said and so many ideas to be shared. You know, I think Japan didn't do that for a long time. You know, it tended to be a little bit closed or afraid of sharing ideas, but I think we were able to kind of bring that out and kind of link people together. I love bringing people together. I feed off it, like seeing them so excited.
You know? And, man, exactly. There's all this great positive energy that comes from it, you know?
Yeah.
There really is. And that's, we were doing that last year with, you know, when you brought Tokuda-san over from Monster Hunter World for GDC, for instance.
Yeah, that was great.
You know, and us this year with Ikeno-San bringing him to GDC and stuff. And, also getting to see, devs interacting is really cool. We had a GDC talk that we did last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about GDC. That's what we kind of promised everyone. But,
right on.
You know, you were the one who was there. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about, you've been gone for almost over a month.
Oh, yeah. I was gone for 3 whole weeks.
Okay. I thought all in all, it was about a month.
I think, but if you include like my vacation that I took, like the couple days that I took after, like I didn't see you in the office until pretty much a month.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. So, like, what was that like? You know, going out there before launch, after launch, and then staying and doing GDC. Like, tell us your experience.
Oh man, it was good. It was good. It was obviously long, but good. I mean, it's been really great because especially for DMC5, we've had a lot of different opportunities where we've actually been able to go and interact with the fans. And so this was a great trip. This is one of many great trips, but this one I loved because I started off like you said, it was the week before the game came out. The Sunday before the game came out. I left Japan and I got to Los Angeles.
Right.
So I get to Los Angeles and we did this thing where we filmed with Joel Mchale.
Yeah.
With Microsoft.
And who's Joel Mchale for those that don't?
Joel Mchale is one of the actors in Community, right? And he's also got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm sorry I don't actually.
He had a Netflix special as well. He's a comedian, right?
And he's super nice.
Yeah, it seemed really fun.
Oh, dude, like, because sometimes you have like famous people, you know, and they can actually be kind of prima donnas or whatever. Right. He was just super nice. and he made some
I
jokes.
like that when you came out and you had, your high level of energy that you always do. It's like, all right, let's bring that down.
Oh,
He's
He's so good. He's so good. Yeah, he made a lot of really great jokes, and he was just a super nice guy. You can tell like he actually cares about people.
Cool.
So that was really cool. And we filmed that, and then that ended up going out Friday. The day of the game came out, and then later that day, we went to the Microsoft store in L.A.
Right.
And I forget what Century City.
Okay.
City. And Microsoft, the people at that store were fantastic. They were like, look, we're basically, you have the store, let's go nuts. Let's celebrate Devil May Cry 5. Let's bring in fans. Let's make sure that they're having a good time. So me and Casey and Allie Edwards live out that way. So
And
we were
who
like,
are
hey,
they?
Casey and Allie Edwards.
I'm sure everyone watching
That's
right
a
now
good
knows,
question.
but
Yeah, Casey and Allie Edwards, for anybody that doesn't know, they wrote and performed Devil Trigger, Nero's song, right? So they happen to live out that way. And so we're like, hey, would you like to come to this event? And they're like, heck yeah. So they came out, and it was fantastic. So it was them and me. We're at the Microsoft store. Bunch of fans came. We filled up the store with DMC fans. It was fantastic, man. And they had set it up so that people could play the demo, the demo that's out on Xbox Live.
Right.
And anybody that got an S rank, they would get a prize. I forget what that prize was. Oh, they got a chance to basically, we had a raffle. We had a raffle for a custom Xbox that we made.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice custom Xbox that Microsoft made. They only made like 4 or 5 of them total, I think.
Wow, that'd have been a great prize.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. So, if you get an S rank, you got a chance for another raffle ticket to do that. And if you just come to the event, you get a raffle ticket. So we had all these people come. We did this great Q&A session where everybody just had a ton of fun. They got to ask all a bunch of questions, and then me and Allie and Casey got a chance to answer, whatever we could in terms of the questions. And then we did the raffle, and we did some signings and stuff. And signings were fantastic. Everybody was just so excited. It's great to be able to interact with people because everyone's just so happy. We're happy because people care about us. About our game and stuff. And everyone else is happy because it's like, oh look, developers that actually put the effort into meeting people and stuff. So that was fantastic. Everybody was just great. And the raffle. So the raffle happened. So when we had the Q&A, we had a lot of great questions. And there was this one really nice young lady who, I can't believe I forgot her name. I'm an asshole.
I think that's
really passionate.
Not entirely connected to why you're an asshole.
That's true. I'm still an asshole. But our very first question came from this really enthusiastic young lady. And she's the one that won the Xbox.
Oh, nice.
And it was just fantastic
A deserving person.
Oh yeah, well she was so excited,
Awesome.
And so it was great. She was excited. We were excited for her. Everybody was excited, It was great. It was one of my favorite fan events we've ever done, So that was great. That was a lot of fun. Next couple of days, just doing a lot of different kind of like PR interviews with different places. So any of the interviews where it's just me. Probably film those in LA and San Francisco that week. That's probably what that was.
So you started in LA, moved to San Francisco.
Yep. So Tuesday, moved to San Francisco. Did some of that stuff. Thursday, we did a live stream with Yuri, and then
Yuri from Capcom Community.
Yep, Yuri from. Thank you. See, this is why we need 2 people, because Pete can actually make sure that I'm explaining things, and everybody knows what's going on. So yep, Yuri from Capcom Community was there. Charlene was there. Charlene, the brand manager for DMC5, and we brought in some of our friends from Discord actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, some people from Discord came over, and we just kind of did this great live stream where we played the game a little bit, played Devil May Cry 5 a little bit, and talked about it. That was great. That was fantastic to have that stream after the reviews are going out and stuff. And then Friday came along. Friday the game comes out. Everybody's excited. We got a chance to do this thing called First Fridays on IGN, where it was I was basically at a round table with a couple of the people at IGN.
Okay.
And again, we got the fans come in.
Nice.
And so that was great because we have fans come in, and IGN's also got free alcohol, so that was really exciting for me anyways.
Does anyone or is anyone able to match your energy?
The fans, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
Dude, some of the fans, man.
I'd love to see that live.
It's great. Yeah, I mean, you know how I get, man. Like, I get excited, somebody gets excited, and it's just like...
It's like an Italian dinner where everyone just starts talking over each other and getting louder and louder.
Because your family's Italian.
I am Italian-American,
This is
so
why,
just talking from experience.
This is why you're talking from experience, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like that, And we had we had done a signing the night before at a GameStop,
Right.
and this one of the people at the GameStop was like, "So I'm gonna have a friend that's gonna come visit you at the IGN thing on Friday, and she's got a Porgy tattoo, so look out for that." And then of course, the young lady with the Porgy tattoo, Porg, right? Porg is what they call them, the Star Wars things.
Oh, okay. So
The Star Wars mouse things
right.
that Miguel
I was
hates.
wondering what you were,
Remember, everybody tweet Porgs at Miguel.
Yeah, please do. What's his Twitter handle? Miguel E. Cordy. Yeah,
Miguel E.
very
Cordy.
difficult to remember.
Please tweet Porgs at Miguel. That would make me very happy.
Lots of pictures, yeah.
Lots of Porgs. Just
In
all
various forms of undress.
There you go, all the Porgs. You know, whether they're wearing
I think
clothes or
they're
not.
naked to begin with.
But that'd be great if he starts getting pictures of Porgs like with different
Shaved,
clothes,
like
different
just
clothes.
shorn.
Shaved. I like the idea of like little hats and stuff for them.
Yeah, that'd be
fun.
that's a better idea. Put
That'd
them in
be
little,
fun.
little
Like a bow tie,
tuxedos,
yeah,
bow
exactly.
ties. Yeah.
That'd be fun, real fun. So yeah, that was great. Got a chance to do that. Had a lot of fun in the IG thing. We had made a couple different comments. There was a couple comments I made that I was like, wow, I thought that this is something that people would be a little more excited about, and the people in the audience got it, but I don't know if a whole lot of people watching the stream actually picked it up. One of the things though was before I left, actually, I remember we were sitting there, we were talking with Takeuchi-san one day, and he was like,
We meaning me and you?
yeah, me and
Okay.
you, and the rest of the producers, right?
Right.
And he was sitting there, and he's like,
Takeuchi-san being the head of the division.
yeah, exactly. The head. See, I like this. I like that you can do this. So he's
I'm
like,
the host today, so
that's good. You're doing good. You're doing
Thanks.
a good job.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
He's saying to us,
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from people kind of specifically like what they want to see out of Resident Evil next, We have Resident Evil 2 Remake, like what do they want to see next? And I was like, all right, I'm going to go on IGN and I'll make sure to ask that. Totally forgot to ask that. Totally forgot to ask that. So you guys, Takeuchi-san wants to know like what you guys want to see next out of Resident Evil. Maybe that's something you can tweet out.
How about let's make it even broader? What do you want to see out of Dev 1? Although I think they often tell us. But
I can tell you what I want to see out of Dev 1. I want to see more Devil May Cry, but we have to be able to convince people up top that that's
Right.
worth doing. So
Right.
we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that was really cool. And then I was supposed to go home after that, and I lost my passport because I'm an idiot.
yeah, that was fun.
I'm an idiot.
Being over here was great hearing from different people the latest status report. I felt like I was working in journalism.
Oh, I
again.
bet. Like,
Like,
what have you
the
heard about
AP
Matt? What's
report
Matt right
says-
now? What's he doing? What's he doing? Where's his passport? Does anybody know? Does he know?
Yeah.
How much money has he wasted? And I ended up eventually finding it because I knew I had left it in the plane pocket.
Well, you didn't find it. The airline found
Well,
it.
the airline found it, but I knew as soon as I couldn't
Right,
find it, like
right.
I left it in that stupid plane
Right,
pocket,
right.
that backseat pocket. So I got the back, and then I was supposed to come back to Japan in time to go to the dev party, the launch party.
That's
that we
right.
had. I did not make that.
You made it in spirit, though.
That's
And-
right.
And in some sort of physical form.
That's right. Thanks to you guys making that amazing cutout of
That was
me.
Yoshida-san as well.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. We'll have to send that.
And
to
we reused it. See, multi-use.
Look at that, multi-use.
Keeping to was it one content
One
multi-use?
content,
that
multi-use.
has been our slogan and our mantra for
That
a long
was
time.
the
yeah.
Capcom mantra for
That's right.
at least the investor relations mantra for a while.
Yes,
I don't know if it
that's
still is or
right.
not, but
It's still, I believe it's still there.
one content, multi-use.
That's right.
And so that's what we did. We had
had one content with
face.
multi-uses,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. So that happened, and then I managed to fly back to Japan just in time to be at the airport for 3 hours.
To meet Itsuno.
Basically, yeah, meet Itsuno, and then to get on the plane with him to go to Australia,
Right.
where we went to MadFest, which is an anime convention in Sydney.
Okay.
It was this is the first time they've done it in Sydney. Actually, they always do it in
Oh, is that
Melbourne.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the event. So.
So yeah, it's called Madman Anime Festival, and they usually do it in Melbourne. They're based in Melbourne.
Okay.
But they did it for the first time in Sydney, and again we had a chance to actually go out there. Like they had a couple kits set up where people could play Devil May Cry 5, and then me and Ikeno-San most of the time. We also had this big wall with some cutouts of the characters where we could take pictures.
Oh,
So
neat.
we kind of hung out over there, and whenever a fan wanted to come and get a picture with us, they could do that. They could talk to us about stuff. We could sign some stuff. And then we also had very specific signing sessions as well, where we're
Right.
sitting down and signing stuff for people. So that was really cool. And then we did a Devil May Cry 5 panel. And since we had a panel, we were like, all right, it's going to be a week after the game comes out, so we can't really talk about spoilers yet. But what's
Right.
something that people that would really enjoy? And we kind of realized, well, we haven't talked about the actual design process for the character design in the game. We've talked about the scans. We've talked about how the pipeline,
Yeah,
for
we
how
talked
that
about
works.
that actually at FanFest, right? Way back when
That's
we
right. One of the
announced
first
E3.
things we
Yeah.
did, right? Yeah, exactly. But we hadn't talked about the character design. So
Right.
we got together basically all the different drafts of the 4 characters of Nero, Dante, V, and Nico, and kind of showed like these are all the thumbnails. This is how the design started out based on this information, and this is how it progressed. So that was really cool. It was really cool to show that. And then for all of them, Ikeno-San. Ikeno-San is one of these artists at Capcom. He's been around for years.
He's been a long time.
He's awesome, right? Yeah,
a long time.
He's been since the mid '90s, I think. And so he was the guy that did all of the character art for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I think.
Yes, I believe
I think
that's
he's Third
correct.
Strike.
Yeah.
So he did that, and he would throughout development he would always like just start doodling stuff, and like
Right.
even after like we had like a final Nico, for instance, or we had a final like Nero, he'd be like, "I'm just gonna throw this out here. Here's a design I made. What do you think of this one?" It's like, well, that's cool, but we can't use that. We already have the character design locked out.
Right.
So I thought it'd be really fun to throw that stuff in there too, to show people like what could have been.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I personally love that sort of stuff.
Right.
I mean, whenever I watch a film, especially something that's animated, like I just recently watched, was it Enter the Spider-Verse, which I
Nice.
love. And
Nice.
there's so much behind the scenes. You can listen to the commentary as well. That sort of stuff is, I think, just great to give back to the fans, especially as someone who is a creator, right, or has that sort of interest in learning the creative process.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sort of stuff is just so fascinating, hearing what people actually had in mind. There's so much that you see on screen sometimes, right, or in a game or in film, anything that is a creative piece, a piece of entertainment that you don't necessarily understand why it's there.
Yeah.
And then hearing all that back history. I mean, like Lord of the Rings did some
Oh, man.
amazing stuff
Dude,
with
yeah, the special edition
right?
DVDs of those. Yeah, man.
That sort of stuff. I mean, as a creator, as a fan, it's just so great to hear. So I'm sure that sort of stuff is what really motivates people.
You know, and I love that for the first time we finally put the previs, the live action
Yes.
cutscenes in Devil May Cry
Remember
5.
we talked about that.
'Cause
Yeah,
we've been doing
we'd
this for
always
years,
wanted to do that, right?
right?
Like with Rev 2, for example,
Right.
Revelations 2. we
And
wanted to do
Revelations
something
2,
like that.
we had like a couple trailers, right? We had like a couple trailers where we kind of used that footage a little
Right.
bit. So if you
Right.
go back, if you're a Resident Evil fan, you can go back and you see there's certain trailers where we use the live action cutscenes like that. It's from this process that we call previs. And we've done that for years. Like I remember seeing those for like RE6, for instance.
Yeah.
I can't remember like this. We've always done that.
And
I feel like.
sometimes they're done to like extreme levels, like, whoa, that's some crazy
Right,
previs.
do you really- right, do you really
gotta
need
rein
to-
that in a bit. You don't have to go to
You don't have to put that much money into
Yeah.
it, right? Like it's kind of not what it's for.
Right.
But there's always these great little quirks, like
Right.
like the fact that when they have like like the van, for instance, for the van they like made a little
Van
van,
Coon, yeah.
Van Coon,
Yeah.
or like for Kerberos. Kerberos is this 3-headed dog,
Cerberus,
right? I think we say Kerberos in
No, that's
Japanese.
Japanese. Yeah, you
We
speak
say
English.
Cerberus in English.
Yes.
Speaking of English, fair
Yeah.
enough. So for Cerberus,
Yes.
it's three people. Two people on there.
It's like basically it's for those watching, there's someone behind here.
Yeah, like doing like that,
Here.
you know? And there's so much character in these videos, right?
Yeah.
So I was so excited to finally see that. And that's kind of part of the process, right? That's part of what
Right.
you're talking about, where it's like, all right, here's a little look at how things are made behind the scenes.
Yep.
Hopefully anybody that is interested in the process will get a kick out of that. And it seems like we have. Like I've gotten a lot of great feedback from people. I was hanging out with some people from Blizzard over the weekend.
Oh, cool.
That were saying the same thing.
Cool.
They were
Where'd
saying
that-
they love
awesome,
that.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
they were
great to
like, I
hear.
love that you were doing that. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. So then finally, so Australia was fantastic. We did that. Then we had a cosplay convention on that Sunday.
You dressed up.
We did bring the
costumes,
replica.
right?
We brought the replica costumes. So the ones that the people in Japan could.
They're not even
get on
replicas, they're
eCapcom.
actually the authentic originals.
We actually brought the replicas.
Oh, you brought the
Yeah,
replicas
yeah.
this time?
The authentic
Oh,
originals,
okay.
we're using those somewhere else right now. So
I see, I see.
yeah, we brought
Okay.
the replicas.
I see.
So me and Itano wore the Nero and Dante jackets
Okay.
to this cosplay thing where we got a chance to kind of judge some of the
Right,
cosplayers who
right.
did a fantastic job, And then Tuesday, fly to back to San Francisco. I've now gone back to San Francisco after flying to Japan, Australia,
Right.
back to San Francisco. We have GDC, have a couple meetings and stuff, lots of PR stuff. And then we got a chance to do our GDC talk, where we
That's
also
right.
had those costumes, actually, the replicas.
The replicas again, right?
Yep.
They came with you.
Yep, and this time Okabe-san brought the V-coat. So then I wore the V-coat, and
Shirtless, of course, right?
people were asking me to do it shirtless. But I have more respect for people. I don't want
We'll go to the gym first.
anyone to throw up at this
We'll
GDC
go to the
talk.
gym first, yeah.
I definitely need to go to the gym,
Yeah.
that's for sure. I really need to go to the gym. So Yeah, I wore the V coat also because it's cooler. You know, I was really hot, and so I'm like, oh man, I'm really hot. Like, and O'Cabe's like, well, look, you can have the V jacket, and I'll take the Dante jacket then.
Nice.
So we did that, and I think that worked out pretty well.
Cool.
And the GDC talk was Ikeno-San mainly talking about his process for how he designed games and how he kind of first he reverse engineers moments in his life, things that he's felt in his life, so that he can figure out how can I get people to feel the same thing through a game. So he did that, and also he had some different notes on actually doing action game design because you would expect from Ikeno-San to talk about action game stuff, right? So that's something that we kind of very specifically in the presentation called out, had like a separate slide for like, now there's probably some of you guys that actually want to hear about action. Okay, here it is,
Yeah, I found it very interesting that, Ikeno-San looks at it, he looks at the game design process on an emotional level.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, he reverse engineers it. So it's like, okay, this is how I felt. How do I recreate that feeling in someone else? It really is interesting because you're trying to bring that emotion out of someone else. And that's no easy task, right? So, and you think action game, like you said, well, wait a minute, how does that relate? So kind of tying all that together is interesting.
Oh yeah, it really was. And it was a good talk. I was impressed because the room was like completely full. It was like standing room only, just like the Monster Hunter talk last year.
That's awesome.
And I think we had a really great response. Like, one thing I was really happy about was I feel like all the jokes hit really well. There was like thunderous like laughter, like with a lot of the jokes, which I was really happy about.
Well, that's what you're good at, right? You're good at getting the audience motivated, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that you yourself are passionate to begin with. You're genuine about it, so
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Little hug there.
There you go.
Yeah. Somebody asked actually, will the GDC presentation be uploaded to YouTube? We can't do that on our side, but it will be available on the Vault.
It'll definitely be available on the Vault, right? It wasn't the Monster Hunter talk, right? But for the
RE7
talk.
was.
That's right, for the RE7 talk. So I don't know how they do that, but the GDC guys, I feel like they cherry pick and they go like, all right, here's a talk that we want to put on YouTube for everybody,
right?
Everybody to check out, and then they do that, And I think that also feeds into like, you like this talk, well, hey, look, you can subscribe to the GDC Vault and get all kinds of amazing content.
And they may put up snippets here and there or something. I don't know, but look for it. It should. When does the Vault go live?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe within the next couple of weeks. I think the Vault will probably go live. To just keep, if you're a member of GDC Vault or if you attended GDC, if you had a specific pass, you'll get access to it. And like we said, unfortunately, we can't upload it, but if you stay tuned, it may be available.
Right. So yeah, I mean, with any luck, either way, eventually it'll be on the GDC Vault. That much we know, right? Yeah. It's a great talk though, and I hope that a lot of people get a chance to check it out. I thought it was fantastic. I thought a lot of the content was great.
That's because you gave it.
No, it's because it's Ikeno. Well, that's because
Ikeno gave it, yeah.
But that was great. And then afterwards, we had a huge line of developers that wanted to get Ikeno-San's signature.
That's great.
So that was fantastic, to be able to, to get done with that talk. And of course, a lot of people want to ask questions, so we did our best to kind of answer questions. But it was the last talk of the day. They needed to start kicking people out of the building at like 7 p.m.
Right.
So
wait, you guys were that late?
So we stayed until past 7. And
wait, but your talk was like 4:30, right?
I think it was something like that. It was either that or like 5-ish or something. And so it was done.
Okay, so you stayed an extra hour.
We stayed at least an extra hour.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Well, just because, like there's all these great people that like, they're interested in like talking and stuff. And it's like the least we want to talk to people, We want to talk to people. We want to meet people. If anyone wants anything signed, come on, it's Ikeno-San, of course. Let's make sure that they get their stuff signed. And it was amazing, to have this line of developers from all over the world, There was this nice young lady from Turkey. She came from Turkey and she brought like gifts from Turkey for us. It was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Okay.
It was really cool.
So GDC, we've gone there for many years. You didn't get to go every year, but you went quite often, I think. And I think it's a lot of things to different people, right? But what do you usually do when you're out at GDC or something like that?
I mean, what we usually do, right? What we usually do is we have a lot of meetings. We have a lot of meetings.
That's right.
We actually, when we try to get to see talks when we can.
Right.
But it really is this kind of business thing, isn't it? Because we have a lot of meetings where we're meeting people that we work with fairly regularly, for instance, to say, okay, this is what's coming down the pipeline. Let's see if we can try to get resources nailed down and stuff like that. Together. Or we'll go meet people that we've never met before, so we can take a look and say, okay, this is the kind of stuff that you do. These are the services you provide. This is the kind of assets you make, whatever. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. Let's see if we can continue discussing further.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of knowledge sharing, right? You're meeting other developers too. Yeah. You're going to parties, but it's not just about drinking. It's about actually socializing, getting to know them, hearing their take on how they develop things. Yeah. It's a really, really great place to actually come together, as a developer and meet other people. On the business side, there's always going to be, a kind of vendor or partner relationship, right, that you're trying to facilitate. Working with partners that we have in the past, like let's say maybe a mocap studio or an animation company or, art asset company, and then just getting and building that knowledge base. And we have people now internally who do that, right? We occasionally do that as well. We do that. And of course, we're meeting with other partners that are out there, people from first party, third party, actually not third party, but first party or other partners. So yeah, it is a great place to learn, meet people, and that's what gives me a lot of energy, because I love talking to people and hearing their take on things and just having those discussions.
Well, and having those relationships is really important too, right?
Yes.
That's really important. Fostering those relationships. I mean, that's where stuff like collaborations come from.
Right.
Right. Having those relationships with these different people, it especially helps, when you have influential people on both sides, talking, and then it's like, yeah, you know what, we should do that. Let's do that. Yeah. And then boom, you get to see all this amazing stuff.
I'm happy that I've got to actually see, let's say, writers or cinematics directors or other artists or studios that I've put together, and this isn't even on our side. This is just putting them together and then seeing them work on projects independently. Yeah. I mean, that's really cool. Yeah. I love that sort of stuff, because it's like, hey, you want to do that? I think I've got a great person for you. Or hey, you're this kind of creator.
Imagine the money that you can make as a consultant if Capcom lets you do freelance on the side.
Yeah, well, but no, it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, I love seeing creative people kind of grow in that sense. And
that's really cool.
I can't create that well on my own, so it's I'm creative in a different way.
That's right. Well, you're creative with relationships and with people.
Yeah.
But this year didn't get to do much of that. Because it was.
You weren't there that long.
I wasn't there that long. That was part of it. And then the other thing was we had a lot of PR stuff that we were doing. So usually we're not launching a game around GDC. So. I can go to all the meetings and stuff, but this time didn't really get a chance to go to many meetings. We really just had there's a lot of different PR stuff we were doing, like interviews we were doing and stuff like that, and then getting ready for the GDC talk and then doing that. So Friday morning, usually we go back on Saturday, right? Usually we're in San Francisco from Monday through Saturday morning. Saturday morning we fly back to Japan. Flew back to Japan Friday morning,
right?
Because then me and Ikeno-San and Okabe-san did a talk at this school called Human Academy.
Right.
And there's a couple of them in Japan, but we did a talk at the one in Yokohama. So, Saturday we get back to Japan, and I'm in a hotel in Yokohama, and then Sunday we're going to do a talk. So finally, Sunday, literally 3 weeks after I left my home, I finally got back home to Osaka.
Man.
It was a good 3 weeks.
Was it good to see the family?
Oh yeah, of course. My daughter. Ever since then, my daughter usually if I have to go to work or something, she's like, fine, whatever, go. Right. Now she's like, don't go to work. She doesn't want me to.
You might not come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hear that. Wow. So things are winding down. We're finally able to get a little bit of respite, but we're still busy. We're still doing our thing. We still got stuff going on, obviously. I won't ask you what's next, because
honestly, I don't know what's next. Honestly, for me, I don't know what's next. I think I'm gonna take a couple more days off here and there. I guess I haven't taken a whole lot of days off. You figure I've been working over the weekend, with these trips over the last couple of weeks, pretty much the whole time. So I think I'll take a couple of days off, and we'll see. I know that Ikeno-san's got something started, so we'll find out what's going on with him maybe in a couple of years.
He's always talking, right? There's always talks. There's always stuff going on somewhere, right? People are always talking. It's like, we are a company, so we have to think about what's going to be next. But yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can field some fan questions here.
Questions
I think
here?
they're asking a bunch of questions that obviously we cannot answer. So why don't you guys? I know that somebody was asking, "Hey, are we going to see a roundtable from the DMC guys like we did with RE2?" Unfortunately, I don't think we've got anything on the docket for that. Right? You had the presentation. I think that kind of covers it.
Yeah.
The GDC stuff. Yeah, it's too bad. It would be cool to do something like that, but once projects end, people are kind of shuffled around, and it's hard to get them back together. So, yeah, but we'll talk to them, and we'll see about we still have promised you guys that we're gonna have more devs on, and we're gonna do this in Japanese so you can hear it from the devs proper. So that's still there, and maybe now that things have kind of calmed down a little bit, we can actually get some of that off the ground.
That'd be real nice.
I'm gonna have to make a proposal to actually keep this going this year. It is a new fiscal year, so if you want to see us keep going with this, make sure to tell your friends, subscribe, and keep that momentum going. It's been great. We've seen Twitter grow quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen the number of people listening to the podcast grow. We'd like to see more of that. Yeah, and we've now done these video podcasts as well, or video. What would we call them? Live streams.
Live streams,
That's the best way to call
stream.
it. Yeah, but we'd like to do more of this if that's what you guys want. So definitely keep it up, guys. And we really appreciate the fan love, and the more people that are following and listening, the more we can make a case to keep this going, because we like doing it, and we hope you like what we're doing. So let's see what other questions we might have here.
Seen some questions about Bloody Palace. So just so you guys know, for anybody that hasn't seen the tweet yet, Bloody Palace should go out in about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Should be at 4 p.m. Japan time is when it's going to start rolling out on all 3 platforms. So, and that should be simultaneous worldwide. So just a little bit longer, you guys can finally play Bloody Palace. And then tonight, and just a couple hours after that, I guess 4 hours after that, me and Ikeno-San and Okabe should all be on with Matt Edwards for a CE stream where he's going to have Capcom Europe. He's going to have a couple people from the community on, and they're going to play some Bloody Palace. They'll play with each of the characters, and then me and Izo and Okabe will kind of provide commentary. So that'll be pretty cool. And we're also expecting to show off the mixer mode, which I don't know how many you guys know about it, but if you have an Xbox, there's a specific mixer mode that we implemented. So if you turn this on and then you stream with Mixer from your Xbox, people can then watch that stream, and then they can tap on the screen in different places, and they'll basically show that those taps on your screen, so that you can find out, okay, what is it that people are interested in on my screen here? What should I be paying attention to? And I am fully hoping and expecting that we'll have that set up for tonight's stream, so that everybody can just spam the hell out of Matt Edwards and just keep tapping on him, so that he's having trouble actually playing the game. That's my hope.
Someone was asking what it was like to work on the Toko Toko documentary thing. And for those who don't know, Archipel, they are a couple of documentary filmmakers based out of Tokyo. I believe they're French. It was actually a lot of fun working on that. And I really liked the pieces that they put together, not just the one they worked on for DMC 5 and RE2, but just their work in general.
Some good ones.
I really like how it has that dramatic kind of documentary feel. I think they've kind of found a good niche to put that in place. And we on the RE2 side were able to kind of sit down, myself, Kondo-san, another producer, and the 2 directors, Ampo-san and Kadoe-san. We sat in an izakaya for about 3 hours. Just
that was 3 hours, really?
Yeah, it was about 3 hours. It was a lot of fun.
Pretty long too, actually.
Talking to them. But as I used to work in television, as with most TV, you just take the best snippets and kind of put it together.
So you're saying there could be a director's cut version?
If they feel like putting it together, maybe. But
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Hearing from them, getting a lot of feedback from them, and talking to them, and trying to pull out a lot of the information that is all kind of contained within their brains. Yeah. And the same thing for DMC5.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, we had a lot of great discussions, and yeah, they followed us around and kind of got a little bit of us at work. Interviewed Ikeno-San a lot, which is fantastic. Got a little bit of me and Ikeno-San and Ikeda-San Ikeno-San's one of the lead game designers on DMC5, playing Street Fighter. So that was a lot of fun. And then it was like, well, come on, let's go to a place where where Ikeno-San gets inspiration. And so that's why I was like, well, look, there's this place called Game Tante Dan over in Nihonbashi. Is that what we call it over here? Is it Nipponbashi over here? Nipponbashi over here. Right?
Yeah.
Nipponbashi's in Osaka. Nihonbashi is in Tokyo. So.
Yeah, a little trivia there for you.
Written the same way. Just
somebody wants us to reveal something. My favorite pizza is pepperoni.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Honest to God, your favorite is pepperoni.
Yeah. Simple.
Mm-hmm. Wait until you have the marinara from Yarimachi though. Once
No one
you
knows
have
what that is.
that.
I'm sure it's good, but
Marinara,
I'm talking about American pizza, not Italian.
Oh, American pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Well, yeah, pepperoni is a pretty good standardized.
Yeah.
Fair enough. See, that's a pretty big reveal, man.
I know. You heard it here first.
Italian American.
That's right. Where we have probably some of the best pizza in the United States.
What, in Jersey?
New Jersey, New York. Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, although there is a debate about New York pizza versus like other pizza, and I know some people feel like
they're all wrong.
There you go. There you go. As
I mean, versus Italian pizza, that's a little bit different, but versus other pizza in America.
I like New York pizza. At Michigan State, we had there was a great New York style pizza place just right off campus. It was so good, man.
In Detroit.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
East
in
Lansing, East
Michigan,
Lansing,
yeah.
East Lansing. Yeah, that was really good.
Pizza Hut, Australia is the best. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I haven't had pizza in a while, but I used to like Pizza Hut. I like that it's like this.
When I was a kid, I loved it.
Thing,
yeah.
I haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah.
We have Domino's is really easy to get over here, so we have Domino's over here when we.
Domino's is easy to get, and it's the closest to American. Pizza Hut started to get creative with clams and stuff on their pizza.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the other thing. Anybody that hasn't had Japanese pizza before, you'll get stuff like mayonnaise on the pizza and corn on the pizza. That's a thing.
Come to BGS in Brazil, and I'd love to.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
I'd love to.
Okabe-san and Hirabayashi-san.
They did get to go last year,
Okabe-san,
right?
senior producer of Devil May Cry 5. Hirabayashi-san, producer of RE2. Those guys went to BGS last year, and they loved it.
They loved it. Yeah, they said it was a great time.
I'd love to try.
I'd love to go.
But
yeah,
they have some amazing food there, man.
Yeah, I bet Brazil sounds awesome. So I'd love to get out there.
Seriously, that'd be really sweet.
Playable Kyrie.
Playable Kyrie. There you go. That's the one we read. So there you go. There you go. If somehow we ever get a chance to do anything else with DMC5 where a character gets to be playable, looks like it has to be Kyrie because that's the one we read. Oh God, is that gonna get reported now? Is that gonna be a thing? Or is somebody gonna mod it? Maybe somebody will mod it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not, as far as I am aware. I'm not gonna speak for the company, but there is no playable gear yet. But
no, it's like we've continuously said this, but honestly, this Bloody Palace update today, this is it. There's nothing else that we're making right now. There's nothing else that that we have planned for the game. On the dev side, we'd love to, but as we've said, it's a matter of us being able to convince the people up top that it's worth doing. And honestly, we haven't been able to do that yet. So we'll keep trying.
Yeah. I think there was, let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. Archipel channel on YouTube is awesome. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Give it a shout out to those guys. Yeah, definitely give them a look. They have some interesting stuff up there.
Yeah.
From some very interesting creators in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we convince them? I'm not going to say that word.
Pete just has to keep skipping all the ones. There's there's this character name here. I guess I have
I'm going to keep skipping that
I have to
one.
skip that. Whose email do we spam to get DLC?
Playable Okabe-san. Yeah,
that'd be good.
We'll ask him.
That'd be good. That'd be real good. That'd be good if we could scan him. We could scan him.
We could.
That'd be good.
All we have to do is have him go upstairs.
He's really tall too. He's like he'd be as big as the Tyrant actually. In RE2.
Is he that tall?
Like,
I don't think he's that tall, man.
Because the Tyrant was Big Rigger Pete.
Yeah, but I think they stretched him a bit.
It's big. Oh,
Yeah.
did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't want to draw it out too much unless you want us to keep talking about pizza, because I could talk about Japanese food. Someone asked what our favorite sushi was.
What's your favorite sushi?
Sushi? I'm gonna keep it simple and say chutoro.
Chutoro.
Yeah, I like the mid-level range,
the mid fatty tuna.
Fatty tuna. The really fatty one, that's just like eating a stick of butter. It's a little bit too much for me.
A couple of those is okay, right? Like one or two of those is okay. You have too much of that, you're starting to feel a little gross, maybe. Depending on who you are. Some people's stomachs can take it more than others.
Who wants to see Maki's memoirs make a return? Anyone?
I want to see Maki's been working.
Yeah, I do too.
I wonder if she's here today.
She is here today, but unfortunately, we didn't actually reach out to have her join us, but she should be. Oh, there's a yes. Look at that.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we wanted to see. Yeah, I miss Maki. Okay, great. We'll
Maki
definitely
too.
have to get her back on board. She's been pretty busy herself, right? Just working on some stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, we're in the next fiscal for 2019,
All
so
right. Dewa.
stay tuned.
Happy Dewa.
Yeah, happy Dewa.
Happy Dewa.
Thank you. It's like a rebirth or something. I don't know.
It's Reiwa. It's
Oh no. Well, we already explained what it means.
Oh, okay,
and then
okay.
like a new era kind of thing.
the new era. There you go. It's a new beginning.
A new beginning.
A new
Yeah,
beginning.
it's spring, so we've got the cherry blossoms outside. Actually, it's really great. Gonna probably go ahead and do some hanami this weekend.
I'm good.
Hanami means flower viewing, to
Yeah.
loosely translate.
Exactly.
It's a great excuse to go outside and drink alcohol under a tree.
Yep.
Japan is pretty much one of the only places I know where that's a thing. But if it is a thing somewhere else, then that's pretty awesome too. But yeah, I definitely love it. You get to just bring a bunch of food, hang out with a bunch of friends, and public drunkenness is okay. So
In Japan, it is okay. In Japan, it is okay.
and somehow still levels of violence remain low. So
Yeah.
which is pretty great.
Well, I think a lot of Japanese people when they get inebriated, it's more like it's a love fest, which is probably why I fit in here so well,
Right?
Because once I start getting inebriated, then I just start hugging everybody.
Okay. Well, we'll end there.
There you go. All right.
Well,
On
thanks
that
guys
note,
for listening again today. And thank you everyone. Actually, we're being thrown out of the room. Although we do have 6 minutes left.
Yep, we gotta get out of
So
here.
violence
We gotta
doesn't exist in Japan. Well, I would say that is incorrect, but it is not as high as.
Or else we-
Let's consider it this way. It's a low crime society. I used to study criminology. So yeah, and thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We'll cue the music here, but you're not going to hear it unless you listen to this again in podcast form. But yeah, thanks again, and yeah, we love you too. Thank you, Mary J, and thank you everyone out there for taking the time. I know some of you are watching, even though it's extremely early or extremely late where you are in the world. We really, really love that we are getting people from all over the globe listening and watching and tuning in. I mean, I really, really think that that's amazing.
That is really cool.
I
That
mean,
is really
especially
cool.
because who really wants to listen to these two bozos?
I know, right?
But yeah, thanks guys.
All right. You guys keep your smoking sexy style.